Hi there, and welcome to the Pip and Pin Podcast. My name is Megan Nodecker, and I'm a knitwear designer from Abbotsford, British Columbia, Canada. You can find me on Ravelry as Knit Pip and Pin, on Instagram as Pip and Pin, and at pipandpin.ca. Today is February 7th, and it is pouring rain today, and it probably will be for the next while, because that's what happens in February where I live. So it's going to be, pouring rain, gross weather for the foreseeable future. Great. And I actually have lots to talk about today. Every time I sit down and think about, I should probably do a podcast, I always think, I don't really have that much to talk about. I haven't really been working on anything, and then I actually go to gather everything and think about what I've actually done in the past few weeks, because I think it's been about 3 weeks since I last filmed an episode, and there's actually so much stuff. So I do have lots to talk to you about today, which is exciting. Some you've seen and some you haven't yet, and there's all sorts of goodies today. The first thing is, if you didn't watch the last episode, I have set myself a challenge for 2023. I am designing 12 patterns, one a month, the whole year. And I've done this challenge before. I think I did it in 2017. It's not like a real challenge. It's just something that I made up and want to accomplish. Because I have a lot of patterns that kind of were half done or almost there, not quite there, and getting into the rhythm of publishing things has been kind of difficult. So this is just, I need deadlines. I need hard deadlines to get things done and get things out. So I've given myself some concrete deadlines. There's going to be some accessories, some sweaters I'm working on, so just a mix of all different things, but you can expect a ton of new patterns coming out in the next year. That's my goal. I did release a pattern in January, and I will make sure I link it down below, but they are the Lunette socks, and I thought I had them, but I don't, so I'm going to go grab them. Alright, so these are the Lunette socks. It is a 2-color sock. You can do it in 1 color if you want. It's knit from the top down, and it's fingering weight, and it has a heel flap and gusset, as you can see here. Now the body of the sock is this lovely texture, and it's just a knit and purl texture, and it's ribbing based. So it's not full-on ribbing, but it is ribbing based on ribbing, kind of. So you do get that nice snug fit with it. We have it kind of continuing on from the cuff into the body, and then even down onto the heel flap. You can see it travels all the way down, which is really, really nice. Get some contrast on there for you so you can see the ridges a bit better. And then we have our nice gusset here into a nice wedge toe. Now, socks like these are my absolute favorite. I love wearing them. I love making them. As much as I love 1-color socks, I really like knitting contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs. And I love just simple texture, and especially texture that is based on a rib, because it does it hugs your foot and it makes it fit really, really nice. If you've ever seen another one of my favorite kind of textured patterns is the Hermione's Everyday Socks. That's kind of a classic. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. They have this same kind of all over texture, not the same texture, but a similar style of sock, and I love those so much. And these are available on Ravelry on our website, and they are our January socks. And they're called Lunette because last time I did this challenge, Naming patterns for me is always so hard. I always have such a difficult time with it for whatever reason. It's always the very last thing that I do. Actually, no, that's not true. The like little bit of romance text in the pattern, that's always the very last thing I do. But usually naming the pattern is the second last thing that I do because I don't know, I just find it so difficult. So what I did for the last time I did this was I picked a theme. And my theme last time was cities in British Columbia. And a selection of those patterns actually went on to become the book, This Must Be the Place. So it's all named after places in British Columbia. And so kind of going with that same vein, but not exactly, all the patterns this year are going to be named after mountains in British Columbia. So Lunette is a mountain. It's on the BC-Alberta border. I don't think you can access it really, but I liked the name. So there we go. That's what I am basing my names on. Mountains that I like the sound of. That's about it. The other thing that I've been working on really hard will be for the next couple weeks is the Idea to Pattern workshop starts again on March 13th. And the Idea to Pattern workshop is for new or aspiring designers who want to learn more about knitwear design. So we kind of go through all the steps of how to get your pattern idea made into a pattern that can be published. So we go through sketching and swatching, we do all the measurements, we do math, we do grading, we do pattern formatting, where to publish your patterns, and we don't kind of do it step by step, but we do it like someone was a little bit confused last time, so they thought we would be working together on a specific pattern and kind of going through that step by step. Really what I'm offering is like a course to give you the tools to do your own patterns however you want to do them. So you can work through the course, you can have a specific pattern in mind and work through the course, or you can just do the course and have the general information for when you need it. And yeah, it's really all about giving you the skills to use all the information and make your own patterns from the very beginning to the very end. The other thing is it's not a live online workshop. So what happens is we have 8 weeks. It's over 8 weeks. And then each week is a specific topic. And over each week, that topic gets unlocked. So we have videos, we have support materials, PDFs, workbooks, like all sorts of different resources that you can use as well pertaining to that week's topic. And you can watch those videos and go through that material at your own pace. So there's no set time that you have to be available. It's just, okay, this week we're talking about sketching, so here's all the information about sketching, and then you have that whole week. Actually, you have forever. So you can watch it during that week, but if you fall behind, all of the material is available forever as well. And then we also have access to the Pip and Pin community boards, which is a dedicated space for people who are taking this course to ask questions, to introduce yourself, to share your patterns, to share your ideas, all sorts of fun stuff like that in there. And then at the very end of the course, we do have one live event where we do a live Q&A with me if you have any further questions or want some help with your designs or just want to chat about designing in general. Anything you want to talk about, we will talk about during that live event at the end of the 8 weeks. So that's kind of a brief overview of what you will be getting with the Idea to Pattern course. And again, that starts on March 13th. And registration is only going to be open for a couple days, so it's from March 6th to the 10th. So if this is something you're interested in, I'll put a link so that you can sign up for our newsletter because I'll make sure that I send out reminders during that time. And we're also giving away one spot in the workshop. which is quite a value. So if you are interested in the workshop and want to win a spot, I'll put a link to our giveaway down below as well. And all you have to do for that is enter your email, so I know who you are. And then there's extra ways that you can win, or extra ways you can gain entries as well. So you can follow us on Facebook or Instagram, or there's a couple different options. The best way to get entries though is to share. So you'll see once you sign up with your email, you'll see a little icon that says share or something like that. And it'll have automatic links where you can email it or share it to Facebook. But there's also a copy link button, and you can use that to share that link wherever. So you can share it on Instagram if you're on Instagram, or if you're in forums or anything like that. You can do that. Sorry. Nice distraction down there. Anyways, so yeah, you can share that wherever you'd like. And by sharing that, if somebody clicks on it and then signs up, enters the giveaway through your link there, you get 5 extra entries. So it is, if you really want a spot and to boost up your entries, make sure you're sharing it, because that is the best way to get more entries. I'll be drawing the winner for that right before registration starts, so probably on the 4th, I think the 5th. Yeah, I'll be drawing the winner on the 5th of March and contacting them via email. So best of luck to all of you who want to join us. I'm really excited about this one. This has been such a, I did this course, I started this course last year, and I've run 2 full sessions and one kind of at the beginning to get all the kinks sorted out. So I don't really count that one, but 2 full sessions so far. And the feedback that I've been getting has been really great and makes me want to do more courses and more things with designers and things like that. So I have lots of plans if you're a designer and if you're a knitter. I also have, some other plans for people who don't want to be designers, and that's what I do. It's been a really, really awesome experience. And I have some some interviews coming up during I think on March 7th and March 9th. I have some Instagram lives set up with some of my previous students. So if you want to hear more about their experiences, you can watch out for those on Instagram. Anyways, I'm talking about this a lot. I should share some knitting, because I think that's what you're here for. So sorry if you're not interested in the Idea to Pattern workshop, but I'm really excited about it. So, up to the room. This guy, I showed it last time. This doesn't have a name yet. This is probably a pattern that's going to be probably my March pattern that I'm going to be releasing. And I showed it last time, and I did finish it. It was really quick to knit, really fun. I'm so used to working with fingering weight yarn that working with DK is so lovely. I was just motoring through this. I absolutely love it. So here is it in its full glory. We have a nice top-down triangle shawl. This is my favorite shape, and it has some of this cool slip stitch chevron panel garter stitch border, and then I put tassels on it because I love a good tassel. And I was going to go with all brown, and I made all brown ones, but then I decided to play around with some different colors of scrap yarn, and I feel like I really like it. It's a little hard to tell. This color is, let's see if I can get, oh yeah. So you can see it's like this really, really light gray with some really subtle speckles of all sorts of different colors. And so to bring out some of those, I kind of added an olive green, and then I added a gross yellow, which are my favorites. to bring out some of the colors in that section there. The yarns that I've used for this one here, your main color there is Merino DK in Air. This brown is Ritual Dyes in their Priestess base and their Page of Wands colorway, which was actually a club colorway for their tarot club. And then this white is Ottoman Indigo Classic DK in Overcast, which is a really warm, just really warm color. I've been wearing this a lot. I do have to still go take pictures of it. That's usually the sticking point for me. So sometime when it stops raining, I'm going to go take pictures of February's pattern, which is a cable hat. And this one, I'll just do them both. So yeah, I can watch for that one in March sometime. For works in progress, I have a couple things that I've been working on. I feel like I've only been working on, I think that's why I didn't film an episode earlier, is because I feel like I was only working on this sweater that I'm about to show you, but I've actually been working on lots of other things. So, if you remember from last time, this is the cable sweater design that I'm working on. Let's get these out here. And it is oversized, fingering weight. It is taking quite some time, but I had my first try on the other day, and it is perfect. It's actually amazing. It's all that I wanted it to be. The only issue from the last time, I've added in the collar because I wanted to add the collar before I finished the length, before I did the sleeves, because collars can make a really big difference in how the sweater hangs. So I always like to do, if I'm knitting a top-down sweater, I always like to add on the collar before I finish the body or finish the sleeves or anything like that, because it can change the length, it can change the drape, it can do lots of different things depending on how tight or loose it is and what kind of neckline it is. So I just did a really, really wide 2x2 rib for this, and I think it's just absolutely perfect. I might tighten it up. It's a little bit stretchy, so I might tighten up my bind off a little bit, but other than that, I think it's great. The only issue that I'm having, and I have some struggles, this is how much yarn I have left. Fingering weight goes a long way, but I don't know if it was a smart idea to start a oversized. Like this has, I think, maybe 10 to 12 inches of positive ease with 4 skeins of fingering weight yarn. Now, my original plan, kind of where I was last week, I was maybe a couple inches above here. I had finished off 2 balls, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to start my sleeves, do my collar, start my sleeves, so that I can kind of see how long I can make it. Because my original idea was I'm going to add the sleeves, add the collar, and then with whatever is left over, I can make the body as long as I want. But then I realized I don't want a cropped body. I would rather have less sleeve and more body. And I think my decision was swayed because I was watching, what was I watching? This Is Us. And there was one episode where Beth, she was wearing this orange thing, and it was almost just like this drapey, beautiful rectangle. And it didn't have any sleeves, and it was so gorgeous and simple. And I really fell in love with it. So I thought that this had enough drape to it that maybe it can just be a t-shirt. I don't know. We'll see. It did make me realize that I want it longer. I want it longer, maybe a split hem, and then we can figure out the sleeves later. The reason why, it's been 3 weeks, and I've only done the collar, and I've only got a couple inches is because I did actually knit a full sleeve. I did knit a whole thing basically, and as I was knitting it, I made the mistake I always make, and I started my decreases too early. And I didn't trust my gut when I knew at the very beginning that I started my decreases too early. So I finished my sleeve up to about here, and these are big sleeves as well, except I also made the mistake of not committing because I was trying to save on yarn. And I didn't want fitted sleeves. I wanted super baggy sleeves. But I knew I didn't have enough yarn to do super baggy sleeves, so it ended up somewhere in this weird middle ground. So the sleeves just weren't right. So I did end up taking out the sleeve. I was going to take it out and add some straight and do some surgery like I usually do. And I attempted it, and it failed. And so I just ripped the whole sleeve out. Which is fine. That's part of knitting. That's definitely part of designing, for me anyways. Is trial and error. I mean, it's a little heartbreaking when you spend 4 days on a sleeve and then you have to rip it all out. Definitely not like worsted where it's like, oh, that was an evening. No. Fingering white cables is a little different story. But yeah, so I ripped out that full sleeve, and now I think I'm okay with the decision of making the body as long as I want it and then seeing where I'm at with the sleeves. Because I did reach out. I did reach out to this yarn company as well, but I don't think they have any more of this yarn in this color. And I don't think they can make me anymore. I also have a little bit, the color, I don't think you can see that. It's only, like, I think just because I'm really looking at it, but these two yarns are a little different than these two, and I should have blended them better, but I'm really trying my hardest. But even with all those kind of changes, I'm really happy with this sweater. I'm really, really excited about how it's going to turn out. I think it's going to be just, oh, it's lovely. And look at this color. I love this color, this dirty pink. Give me all the dirty yellows and dirty pinks. So I've been slowly plucking away at this, and I don't know when I'll be finished it. Now it's kind of like I'm over the stage of being super excited about it, and I'm still excited about it, and I still love it, but I'm not obsessively knitting on it anymore. So we'll see when that one gets finished. But really, I mean, I can only knit this much more, which isn't actually a ton. Oh yeah, you can see the color difference between the two skeins. Which happens, it's hand-dyed. I'm alternating. So while that was kind of hiatus, because it did have to go and like sit for a while before I was ready to come back to it. I just actually started working on the body again the other night because I was a little bit not mad at it, but sometimes your sweaters just have to like go away for a little while and you have to work on something else. So that's what I did. And the thing that I was working on is a project that I started on January 1st of 2020. So this is a very, yeah, it's not even half done yet. It's the Weekender Blanket by Sandra Paul. And it is actually a crochet blanket. It is not a knitted blanket at all. And I'm using many scraps to make many tiny hexagons. Oh yeah, my Hello Kitty Band-Aid. So I have a whole box of these, and I'm just using all different scraps of kind of blues and whites and beiges and cool pinks. So this is kind of what the box of them looks like at the moment, and I've just been, yeah, it's all scraps of DK or fingering held double. So they go pretty quick. I mean, one little guy doesn't take too long. And originally when I started doing these, I was weaving in my ends as I was going along. Then I actually started piecing them together because I know this is not enough. I know I don't have enough, but I was getting kind of bored of just doing these, and I wanted to see more of a bigger picture of what this thing is going to look like. So I started piecing some of them together just in little blocks, and some of them. This is my stack of blocks so far. I want this to be a big blanket. I want a big, cozy wraparound blanket. Like, I have enough probably to make like a nice like, I think I'm at like the halfway mark, maybe, because I want it to be like queen size. Like, I want a blanket. It takes a really long time. So I was getting a little bit bored with just making these and not being able to see a bigger picture. So I did start to piece some of them together, and I realized I can just use my ends to seam them together. I'm just doing like a whip stitch. I don't know exactly what you call it, mattress stitch in crochet, maybe. But yeah, I just started using the ends to kind of go and piece some of these blocks together. You can see some of them aren't pieced together because there wasn't enough yarn close enough to actually finish it, but maybe when the next block gets added, then there'll be, stuff nearby. So these are just a couple of the ones that I've completed. All scraps. Very, very much long project. As I was spending a week obsessively making these and obsessively sewing them together, like, this was my distraction project while I was waiting for the pink sweater to tell me what it needed to happen. Because that's what you do when you don't know what to do with the project, just let it sit for a little while and the answers will come. So while I was waiting for that, I was working on this very obsessively, and I was like, oh, maybe this will be the year that I finish it. And then after I finished making all these blocks, I did lay them out. I should have taken a picture, but I did lay them out to see kind of what it would look like and how big it would be. And even with all the ones that I haven't pieced together yet, it's not big enough. It's not as big as I want it to be. I'm maybe halfway, 3/4 of the way, but that's okay. This is one of those projects that I started knowing that it was going to take forever. I mean, probably when I started it, I didn't even have enough yarn scraps to make the whole thing. So now I've collected more yarn scraps, and here we are. Maybe it will be done in 2 years. I don't know. We'll see. I go through spurts with this too. Like, I probably haven't touched this project in an entire year. And then I've just spent a week straight working on it. And, I'm kind of at the end now. I'm not so enthusiastic anymore because I've gotten back on track with this sweater and I've got some other ideas coming up. So, I just needed a little brain break. And this did the trick. And this is pretty much what this project is for. It's just for when I need brain break. When I need something mindless to work on and I obsess over it for a couple days or a week or two. And honestly, now it's at the point again where I'm done with it and I probably won't touch it for another few months. Maybe I'll make one or two little things again. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, maybe I'm going to piece together some more things. So maybe after this, I'll piece together a couple more. The other last thing I've been kind of working on is, where are we at the time here? Oh. Anyways, sorry. The last thing that I've been working on is another new design. I kind of just cast on because I was going out for coffee with a friend and I wanted something to work on, and the only thing I had was this, place that I didn't. It was after I finished the sleeve. It was in its hibernating phase. So I wanted something to work on. So I decided to cast on a hat, and I wanted to design a hat because I found this cute little stitch that I like. They're these little like flowery guys. And so I did a little swatch, and just watched it bake in the round. So it has these little flowery guys, and I have a neat idea to do with these. It's not going to be exactly this, but I just wanted to practice the stitch a little bit. And so I cast on a hat, and so I did some 1x1 ribbing. I'm probably going to rip this out because in my, let's grab a ball of yarn so that I have something to knit on. I didn't actually do any math. I just kind of guessed at what I thought should be cast on. So I feel like this is not quite enough stitches, and I didn't check to make sure that it was even, like I didn't plan out my hat project really. So yeah, I just needed something to do with my hands. So I cast on a hat. I'm probably going to rip it out. But the idea is there, and that's great. This yarn is bonkers. I love it. It's not bonkers. It's just totally like a normal color, but I love this color. Like a hot mustard yellow. This is Fiddly Dye Works, her Superwash Merino DK, and this is the Sawyer colorway. And yeah, just absolutely. I've been wanting a hat in this color for a really long time, so I decided to just design one. Yeah. This is not going to be the finished product, but it'll look something like that. Ish. Eventually. I'm going to have to recast it on, do some actual math. It'll be great. Okay. And I think that's it. I've been swatching a little bit for another cardigan, but that I don't need to show you today. I'll show you when it's a little further along. Other than that, I think we're good to go for another week or two here. If you are interested in the Idea Pattern Workshop, make sure to check out the links below, get some more information about it, sign up for our newsletter if you want to be notified when registration starts, and enter the giveaway. And share your giveaway link to win your spot. Yeah, other than that, I will see you soon. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.